Hey there, Bruins fans! Welcome back to BNG Hockey, where we talk all things black and gold. Some big news out of Tampa today. Nikita Kucherov signs an 8-year, $76 million contract. That's 9.5 per season. A big contract for a big-time all-star for Tampa Bay. Now, this got me thinking. With all of the big moves that are happening in the Boston Bruins division, the Maple Leafs signing John Tavares, Nikita Kucherov re-signing with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they still might be in on an Erik Karlsson trade, believe it or not, but we'll get to that. And even a deal like Mike Hoffman going to the Florida Panthers. The Bruins need to do something. Now, they signed some free agents, and I love the John Moore deal. I said that in my Boston Bruins signing video. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. I think he's going to be a solid top four defenseman who's going to bring a lot of quality play to the Boston Bruins and be a really nice shutdown guy who can also chip in on the offense. I love the Yaroslav Halak signing. Then you get into your Chris Wagner and your Joakim Nordstrom signings that are just fourth-line guys. Like, not really big additions. I feel like we need something big, but at what cost? You see the articles going around about the Boston Bruins needing a top 6 winger, and some even say a top 4 D. John Moore is going to be that guy. Trust me, Bruins fans. Just wait and see. And we've been asking for a top 4D for, 3 years now? It's just not going to happen through a trade. Don Sweeney just can't get it done. But we can do the forward, and it depends on which kind of top 6 forward we're talking. We can go big fish, Artemi Panarin, or we can go a little bit more manageable and do a Wayne Simmons or a Jeff Skinner, or maybe someone just totally random out of the blue who Don Sweeney finds and can fit into a top 6 role nicely without giving up too much. Artemi Panarin, easily the best forward out there if you're talking trade rumors. The Tampa Bay Lightning have Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman, Tyler Johnson, Andrei Vasilevsky, Andrei Palat. The list goes on, and they still might add Erik Karlsson. It looks like they can do that because Yzerman is just a GM god, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are over here like Austin Matthews is our second-line center, but at least you guys got Chris Wagner. The Bruins need to do something huge, and Artemi Panarin can certainly be that guy. But he's going to cost you. Torrey Krug would be the starting block. I really don't think you need him. You have Chara, Grzelcyk, Moore, Urho Vaakanainen, Zorobel coming up, all left-shot defensemen. He's a really good offensive defenseman, don't get me wrong, and we'll miss him on the power play, but hello, you have Charlie McAvoy, so he can slot in on the power play just fine. John Moore can do that as well, and Matt Grzelcyk is basically an identical copy of Torrey Krug, can just play better defense, which he is a defenseman, remember that. And if you need the cap space, then you got to move the cap space. And Adam McQuaid's not going to be the guy to get the deal done with this team for this player. So Torrey Krug's the start. You'd have to throw in a couple prospects and maybe even a pick. But Don Sweeney is really good at draft and develop. So we have a lot of prospects that just aren't going to make it up here, and you just need to deal with it and say, yes, they're good players. They're not going to have an opportunity to play, so we got to package them together and send them off. We saw Austin Czarnik just walk away, and we don't want that to happen. We want to get something for these players. So if you can package them up and get Artemi Panarin, who can help you now and in the future, make sure you sign him to an extension, Don. I thought it was obvious, but I just want to make sure. But if you can get him to an extension and do this deal, then absolutely do it. As far as those mid-level guys go, like your Wayne Simmons, your Jeff Skinner, your random guy Don Sweeney finds a trade for, Torrey Krug might still be part of a trade, but it's more of a one-for-one, and for cap space reasons, you might not need to throw in the prospects, and if you do, it's a lower-level prospect. I think someone needs to play with Bergeron and Marchand. Yes, Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak is the best line in hockey, but as we saw in the Tampa Bay series, if you shut it down, we really don't have that much offense. And Ryan Donato slotting in next to David Krejci is just too much to ask of a young kid. He might go and get 30 goals. He's a very good player, but I think if you can take some of the pressure off him, it might help him. Pasternak and Krejci play really well together. When they do play together, they went to the Worlds after the playoffs and each got like 7 points in one game, like right off the bat. Like, I know it's different type of play, but that just shows you like they have chemistry there. And you don't need to make Bergeron and Marchand better because anyone can be good with them because they're good hockey players. I think David Krejci needs to get better, especially if you're going to pay him $7 million. He played well with Jake DeBrusk, and Jake DeBrusk is going to be even better this year. But if you can have a line with Krejci, Pasternak, and DeBrusk, and then you can have like a Simmons with a Bergeron and Marchand, that's a much more dangerous top six and keeps you in the race for this Atlantic Division. At the end of the day, a lot's happening around Don Sweeney and the Boston Bruins, and he needs to do all he can to make sure he doesn't fall behind. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below. If you're a regular on the channel, share with your friends and make sure to give this video a big like.